Jeanette, hello. Yes, now I must tweet that we are live. Steve is giving the girls chewies, as is required. Because we gave them a chewy on Tuesday night, and so now they know that we have chewies, and so they're like... But, hello and welcome to tonight's stream where hopefully the internet will be more stable, and we play Reworld! Designed by Michael Kalsing and Wolfgang Kramer. This is like kind of a dynamic duo. We're also trying a different mic setup, and it's way too loud apparently. Let me just turn the gain down on that one. Trying a different mic that is still way too loud. Let me do that. Okay. If the audio stuff is rough today, I'm sorry. We're always trying something new here. But hopefully this will pick up Steve a little better. This is a mic that my friend has loaned me.
What's its name?
It's blue. It's a Blue Yeti. It's big and fancy. It's a very expensive mic. A friend loaned it to us. And instead of doing a Tiffany's player area camera, we're doing this mic. And if it works, we'll have all four and it'll be amazing. But, yeah, we're playing Reworld and we haven't done any of the setup today. So we're gonna do that on camera. Da, da, da. But this is a, I don't know if I'd call it a programming game. It's like a... It's like you have to the game takes part in two distinct phases, and in the first phase of the game, you are drafting bits for a spaceship, and in the second phase of the game, you are taking apart your spaceship to colonize the new planet that we have moved to. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize.
Oh, hey.
There's like zero distraction on that.
Oh, they made
Yeah. So, this is the board. Oh, jeez, the camera's freaking out. The camera's freaking out, everyone. No, that's not what I want. I want this one. Stop it. Okay, cool. So they have a side of the board that doesn't have any. Yeah, I did.
Let me do the light.
Yeah, I guess. It doesn't have like the score tracker or any of the art that is associated with like playing the game, so that's kind of cool. But this is the side that you need that has the score tracker around the board, and we're gonna scoot it to the top of the frame so that our spaceships will be visible while we're playing. I think that makes the most sense. The camera does hate the board. It's true. We're gonna zoom in a little bit. I think that makes the most sense. And that is like blurring out of focus. What in the world?
I've had days like that.
Let me fix the focus. No, don't do that. I have told you several times. Leave that light on. Thank you. And then turn the brightness up a little bit. And then that's good. Alright, that just made it worse. There we go, we're in focus! Yay! Okay. So, you put the board in the center of the table, and then there are a whole bunch of like ship components which you should punch and then put in the bag. So that's in there. And then each player is going to get a ship. There's like a little bit of coloring on the nose of the ships. I'm already missing this camera. So do player colors, it's very slight. Then each player gets a scoring disc of their play color. Hi. Oh. Kabuki's gaming. Cool. Thank you. It won't be the same without Kabuki. But each player gets their player color piece and puts it out. And then there's like a little tiny spaceship. This is the round marker for the drafting rounds. You're going to put it on its spot over in the center of the ship. Wow, the girls really like these chewies. Then there's a deck of cards. You're going to take that out and shuffle it really well. My handy shuffle. And then there's like a whole bunch of little ships that you're going to want, and you're just going to put them out. There's like silhouettes for ships. They don't really go in a specific place. You're just going to put them out there. And then...
And you're going to put the ones for the right player count.
Yes. They're double-sided, so you want to make sure that the right player count is up. And then there's a little standee that is the first player marker, and it's future Steve. It's what Steve would look like in the future, or will look like, not would. It's will. He will live to the future.
Not to be confused with other future wills that are on spaceships.
Yes. So you need that. And then there's like these little colonization tokens that have city names like New Carcassonne, etc. You're going to take all those, you're going to sort them by alphabetical.
I think that's New Carcass.
Carcass. Yeah, but it could be Carcassonne.
Okay.
If you just keep going with it. And you're just going to... it doesn't really matter. You're just going to make sure that there's a pile for each letter. It's not super critical. You could just throw them in a bowl, really. And then when somebody needs a letter, they have to go digging. That's totally acceptable. But that's more or less the beginning of setup. Then, depending on player count, you're going to deal out a certain number of cards for everybody. And I'm going to be honest, I've never played this game 2-player. I've played it 3-player, and I've played it 4-player, and this will be my first time playing it 2-player. And this will be Steve's first time playing it 2-player. So I'm going to have to look up what the player count is, or the card count is for 2-player.
Without stuff on the board, I can now kind of see that this is the front of the ship, and that's the back of the ship. Which makes sense because they're leaving Earth.
Yeah, they're leaving Earth. But this game is not called Leaving Earth. This game is called Reworld.
That's a different game.
That is a different game. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just putting these little ships. These are all these little ships come into play in the second half of the game when we are taking apart our spaceships. And depending on how we take apart our spaceships, we might earn some of these. And I'll talk about that in but a moment. I'm just making sure that I have the correct player count sides out.
Also, while you're setting those up, shout out to our neighbor, actually, Cable Guy Kevin, who works for Comcast, and checked out our line today and said that it was screaming like a banshee.
He fixed our internet. Cable Guy Kevin, who wasn't just a random neighbor. We called Comcast, our cable provider, and they sent Cable Guy Kevin over, and Cable Guy Kevin was like, oh, I live down the street. So we now have Cable Guy Kevin's cell phone number in case the internet goes crazy again, and he'll just come over and fix it. So thanks, Cable Guy Kevin.
Yeah. Thanks for,
Portland!
Getting up on all kinds of ladders and checking our lines and everything. So
yeah.
We should hopefully not have those wacky dropouts that we had on Tuesday.
Oh man, it was crazy. The Altiplano stream is broken up and special. That's why we're redoing it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, we're altiplanoing to restream that tomorrow.
I'm going to deal out the number of cards per player count, and then we are going to... I'm going to teach, but teaching is super, super easy. Okay, with 2 players, we each get 13 cards. Mr. Kairos.
I love this spaceship.
You're gonna hate it by the end of this game.
Yeah.
Deal out 13 cards. If you're playing with 3 players, you're going to deal out 9 cards, and if you're playing with 4 players, you're going to deal out 7 cards. Alright, and now I'm going to teach
6,
this beautiful game.
7.
By the way, I forgot to mention, this game is sponsored by Eggert Spiel. Thank you, Eggert Spiel, for giving us this game to stream.
13.
If you are a publisher and would like to potentially sponsor stream by sending us a game, send me an email at theonetar@gmail.com. Okay, thanks. Ow, let's play this. Okay. So the easiest way to teach this game and to also kind of understand it is to learn it backwards and to teach it backwards. So if you remember correctly, or if you remember, I said this game, there's 2 phases. It's sort of 2 games. The first phase of the game, we are, the Earth is dying. This is how true. And they have found a new planet 300 light years away that will work really well.
So that's the sci-fi part.
Yeah. That's like as far as the sci-fi part goes. So there's this like mothership, and for like 5 years the mothership is getting new parts delivered to it, and then we are captains of settlement ships, and we are fighting, we're drafting over the parts that the mothership gets. So we're drafting the pieces that, all the parts that the mothership will get, and we're adding them to our own colonization ships. Then the story is we go to sleep for 300 light years and travel to the new planet, and go to the second phase of the game, where we take apart our colony ships and colonize the planet. And taking apart the colony ship and colonizing the planet helps you understand why in the world you want the pieces that you want and the order in which you want the pieces and things like that. So I'm going to teach the second part of the game where we're taking apart our ships first, and then we're going to go back and learn the first part of the game because it just makes so much more sense.
I think it's also 5 months because the things say 2142.2.3.4.
Oh, is it 5 months?
So I think it's 5 months.
We're super efficient. The Earth is dying fast, apparently.
Everybody out.
Yeah, so for setup, if you followed along with setup, go ahead and just stick the cards to the side for a second and pay attention while I teach you this game. So there are a bunch of ship pieces, and I'm like regretting not having this little camera on right now. So with the little ship pieces, there are 5 types of ships, or 5 types of parts, I should say. There are shuttles, which look like that. Okay, yeah. There are satellites, which are copper in color and look like that, and they usually have some different text above them. Then there are colony bots, which look like really souped up chappies.
Or Johnny Number 5s.
Yeah, super souped up Johnny Number 5s.
But with like rocket engines instead of the treadmill.
Yeah,
treads.
And they'll all have, and they have a really crazy saw blade. But all of the colony bots have a letter above their head, and that's important. And then there are companies. Oh, hey, there's the big ship. I was wondering where that was. And then there are company tiles, and there are 5 different companies. And the company tiles, I don't really know what they look like. They just look like weird ship things, and then they have the blue spaces right there are
cryopods.
Yeah,
so
there's
tiny
little people in there.
Apparently, if you want to go to a new world, you need to get sponsored by a corporation.
Yeah, so each of these, there's 5 different corporations, and they all have colors on them. So like Roundhouse and Opera X. And I will say some of the colors are hard to tell apart, but each corporation has its own logo. So if you're colorblind or just can't tell the stupid colors apart, because some of them are too close from across the table, like these two, like they did like an orangish red and then like a golden yellow, and they're just really close in color when they're across the table from each other.
But, Roundhouse is some planets, I guess, and then Pyramid Limited is a pyramid. Opera X is the Sydney Opera House.
Yeah. So there's 5 corporations, and then there is one that's not a corporation. I mean, it's probably a corporation. It's called Life Farm, and it's white, and it's got a little wheat symbol right there. Okay, so those are the types of tiles that you are going to get in the game. Okay, so what you're going to do is during the first phase of the game, we're going to be drafting these tiles and adding them to our ship. And so I'm going to simulate that by just randomly adding some tiles, not so randomly, to my ship. So I can teach you how to play. Yes. So there are 5 rows on your ships. You're going to have 5 potentially tiles, or 5 rows of tiles potentially on your ship, and then you're just gonna play. You're just gonna play. So let's talk about this. Okay, sweet. So the left half of your ship is going to be where you put the colonization tiles onto your ship, and then the right half. The left half is where you put stuff. The right half is what counts as like the planet's surface. So my planet's chunk of surface is going to be on this half of the board of my ship. And we're colonizing the same planet together, but we're like on different parts of the planet, and we're not interacting at all in regards to our colonies. We're just kind of racing for these goals up here. So on my turn during the second phase of the game, I get to unhook one of the parts from my ship and send it to the colony surface. If the part that I unhook has its own propulsion, it safely enters the atmosphere and becomes part of the colony system. I don't have a satellite, I just realized. If, however, the unit does not have propulsion, it just burns up in atmo. It does not safely decelerate itself, etc., etc. Okay, so for example, most important is colony bots, Mr. Johnny 5. So I'm going to unhook this colony bot. Woo, it's got its own propulsion engine. It's going to fly down to the surface. I'm going to flip it, and now I have an A colony. So with colony bots, you're going to find the first city, or the first time you colonize with a colony bot of a letter, you get a new city of that letter. So this is an A colony bot, so I take the top A city and I add it to the side, and the art continues very nicely, and you can't see it from way up there, but it's very cute. The board isn't so glary. I will try. I think what I want to do is that. And that. That made it worse, better? Let me know, Angela. Maybe a little better. So, I now have an A colony. I can only ever have one A colony. So, I will have one A row that I'm building this way. If I get a B colony, which, hey, look, I have a B colony. I undock my B colony bot, put them there, grab the top B city.
New Boston.
Yay! Now I have New Boston. So, in this way, I can only ever have one A row. I will only ever have one B row. Same with C, D, and E. Those are the 5 types of colonies you can have. And that's how you make a colony. Yay! Okay. The first person to make all of the colonies, A, B, C, D, and E, gains this 5 points, victory point ship at the end of the game. So that's what that one is right there. Okay? And it's pretty self-explanatory once you learn the game, what all the icons on the race ships are. So, that's great, but my colony needs some, stuff. They need people and things like that. So, I would like to undock one of the colonizing companies, corporations, and I have one right here. It's ready to go, but it doesn't have its own propulsion system. So, if I were to undock it right now, it has no propulsion, it's floating in space, and then it burns up in atmo and I lose it and I don't get anything.
Dang it.
Gosh darn. However, shuttles are designed to bring the corporation colony pods down to the surface. So if I undock one of my shuttles, it can hang out in space, and it can, when I take it off, pick up 2 corporate pods. And they don't have to be from the same corporation. They just have to be 2 corporate pods. But I can fit one on that side of the shuttle and one on that side of the shuttle. And I don't have to fill up the shuttle if I don't want to, or if I can't fill up the shuttle, I can send the shuttle down with just 1 pod on it. That's totally fine. But I'm going to put 2 on it. They're both from Pyramid. Again, they don't have to both be from the same corporation. And then they'll fly over. And now I have a decision to make. Because each colony can have maximum 1 corporation in it. And you can't have multiple corporations, or you can't have the same corporation across multiple colonies. So I have 2 Pyramid pods here from the Pyramid Corporation, and so I have to pick either A or B colony. I'm going to go ahead and pick the A colony, because why not? And I flip it over and add my 2 pyramids to the A colony. Now my shuttle has been used, it's out of fuel, it's just going to hang out here at the bottom of my colony area for maybe in the future when I maybe potentially get some fuel. Sweet. Then I continue on like that. Hey look, I have another A colony bot. I can't have another A colony, but I can add this A colony bot to the A colony I already have. And the reason why I might want to do that is there are some bonuses that I get for making a colony of a certain size. So the first person to have 8 tiles in a colony gets this bonus 7-point ship. And when you do anything in the game that requires counting the tiles in your colony, they are including the little tiny half tile which says the name of your colony. So I currently have 5 tiles in my A colony, so I kind of want to beef it up, and adding more colony bots can help with that because I can't add more corporations. I can't add a different corporation. If I get more pyramid corporations, I can add it. There is one exception to this rule, and that is the Life Farm Corporation. Every colony needs life farms. I can't find one right now, but you couldn't see it from... Oh, I found one. Every corporation needs farms because every corporation needs food. So if I were to send a shuttle down with this one, I could put the life farm here on my A colony because farms can go anywhere. They're kind of wild. And then this roundhouse corporation, I'm going to have to send to a different colony. So I'd send it to my B colony. And then my shuttle just parks and hangs out. If I was the first person to have 4 shuttles sent to the surface, I could get this 4 shuttle bonus tile. Do you see a pattern arising here? It's pretty straightforward. Now I'm in a situation where I have 1 shuttle left, and then I have a pod that I could send it down on, but maybe I don't want to. Maybe instead I want to add to the defenses. I'm going to do some handiwork. You didn't see that. Okay. Maybe instead of sending down that roundhouse pod, because maybe I decide it won't benefit me as much, I want to add to the defenses of my colony. So instead of using the shuttle to bring colony pods down, I could instead send it down to add defensive capabilities to my colony. So I flip it over, there are shields on the other side. The number of shields that are on the back side is depicted on the front in the corners. So you can see without flipping that there are 2.
Yeah. There's also rather large gun things that are part of the art.
Oh, there are. I haven't noticed that.
The shuttles different. But the icon of the shield does let you tell the difference.
So I have... Okay. So now I have 2 defense. The reason why defense is important is not because we will have any sort of player interaction regarding shooting at each other, nor will there be any sort of alien incursion. Instead, the first person to 5 shields gets this bonus shield token. In addition, there's some scoring at the end of the game, which has to do with shields, which we'll talk about.
I didn't realize that tile is all 5 colonies plus shields.
Which one?
That has a shield on it.
Oh, it does. I didn't notice that either. That is a good catch. The A, B, C, D, E tile for getting the first person to have all the colonies does include a shield, so you have to have at least 1 defense shield to get that tile. Nice catch. So that's shield. Sweet. Then I have this corporation tile that has no shuttle to send it down, so it burns up an atmo. Oh, I'm so sad. Okay.
Weren't there
So
cryotubes in that?
I'm not gonna worry about it.
Okay.
Then we have a satellite. Satellite is in-game Satellite is points. Satellites are points when you put them into play. So when you take a satellite off your ship, you have the decision to use the satellite for the points depicted on it, or to flip it over and add it to your defense network. So for example, if this satellite isn't going to do me any good because it's not worth a lot of points, I could instead turn it into shields for my defense structure. This particular satellite says that for every different type of corporation I have, I get 2 points. I have 2 corporations, maybe 3. It's unclear to us if farms count as corporations. I believe they do.
Yeah, I can check.
Yeah, so I think I have 3, so I would get 6 points immediately when I put this satellite into play in my system. If I decided 6 points wasn't enough for me to make it worth it, I would instead flip it over and add it to my defense system. So in the second phase of the game, we will continue taking pieces off of our ship one by one in order. So it'll go like tennis, like I'll take one off, Steve will take one off, so on and so forth, until everybody has taken all of the bits off their ship. If you have no more bits to take off, your opponents still take off bits. You don't really get potentially any award for getting all your bits off first. Maybe you do though. This tile, if you clear all 5 rows, you get this tile, which is 7 points. Xena, did you already finish yours, or did Ichi steal it?
No, she's just curious. She's still working on her.
There are tiles for completing each of the rows. So this one, you grab it if you're the first person to empty row 1 on this side. This is row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5. The first person to 70 points gets this tile, which gives you more points. I don't know the wisdom of that. The first person to have 4 satellites in orbit gets this tile. The first person to have 5 different types of corporations gets this tile. I already talked about the shuttles and the shields. First person to have 3 life farms in play gets that tile. There you go. At the end of the game, once everyone is done, we evaluate this big colony ship here, which just goes and looks at each type of row in a colony. The person who has the most shields will get 20 points. The second most will get 10. Third most, 4. For a 2-player game, the scoring is a little different on that. Then it's the same dealio for the next rows. The person who has the largest A colony, including the little half name tail, gets 18 points. Then there's a reward for the largest B colony, largest C colony, largest D colony, largest E colony, so on and so forth. So that is how you play the second part of the game with scoring. Very straightforward.
Also add that it does mean 5 of the 5 companies and defense. This one is 5 companies, of which there are 5 and farming. So it's farming or the construction companies.
Okay. So wait,
that's the 4-player side.
Oh, this is the 4-player side as well. Oh, you have to have 6. So this one you have to have 6 things. Okay, this makes sense.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, we'll just have to flip some of these over.
Alright, so for the 2-player game, it's a little different, but that's cool. We flipped them. Whoop. There you go. Okay, in the 2-player game, whoever has the most gets 15 points. The points are a little less for 2-player. You will see that on the tiles. Sorry. Okay, so that's the second half of the game. That's also how you score the game and how you win the game. So let's talk about how we get tiles to play the second half of the game, because that would be the first part of the game, which some would say is the most important part. So the first part of the game is you take all the tiles and you mix them up in this bag, and then you throw them out onto the mothership, onto the port spots around the ship. So I'm just going to throw them out and let Steve make them all pretty.
That's what I do.
You're not doing your job.
Well, we gotta battle over it, you see.
I'm just throwing these out. So you're just going to dock these ship parts to the ship, and then we're going to take turns drafting them. It's going to be great. Remember those hands of cards that were dealt out at the beginning? We're using those now. So you're going to take your hands of cards, and you can organize them however you like. You're going to play all of these cards, more or less. If at any point you decide to pass, you will discard any cards that you don't play and score points, 1 point for each card that you don't play. So, kind of a fun part. Okay, so we have all the ship parts on. Adjacent to each ship part is a card slot. And for the purposes of this game, every card slot is adjacent to 2 other card slots. So on the ends here, it's a circle. So this spot is adjacent to this spot and this spot. Okay?
Yep. Also on the art, all the ships and thingies have these little support bands or whatever, and they do line up with the bands on the board art.
They line up with the ships too.
Yeah.
And each other. It's
yep.
Pretty nice little touch. Okay, so on your turn, you get to draft a card. So you play a card from your hand, and the cards are 1 through 5, which correspond to the 1 through 5 rows on your ship. Yay! And you're going to play the card, and you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to play... what am I going to play? I just remembered another rule I didn't teach you, but I'll come back to that. I'm going to play this 5 right here to this spot. So I'm going to take the part that's there, and I'm going to put it in my 5 row. Hey, how simple, because I played the 5 card. Now Steve gets to play a card. Here's the rules of playing cards. If Steve wants to play a card adjacent to any cards previously played, he must play a card that matches the card that he's playing adjacent to. So if he wanted to play in either of these slots, he would have to play a 5, because there's a 5 here. If he didn't have a 5, or didn't want to play a 5, he could instead play 2 cards, any 2 cards, as a wild to play in that spot. So he would have to play 2 cards from his hand into that spot, and the card on top is the number, it corresponds to the number in which he has to place on his ship.
That's a bad example.
Don't play with a 5. There we go.
Let's say I did a 2 and a 4, and then the 4 would be the one on the top.
Yes, so he would take this one, he would add it to his 4 row on his ship. Ta-da!
That is a rule I continuously got wrong the first time we played, is the number you play is the
on
row
top.
the part has to go on.
Yes, you forget that constantly. I need help, internet, making sure he doesn't screw that one up. So that is how that works. Then we have a fun situation. Steve, are you ready for the fun situation? This is the fun situation.
Oh, oops.
There's a 3 here now, because I did this, right? And then there's a 5 here. So now, hang on. So to play in the middle, he has to match both cards. So he has to play a 3 and a 5. So he has to play 2 cards no matter what. If he does not have one of those numbers, for one of those numbers, or both of those numbers, he can play 2 cards of any kind to count as a wild.
So in this case, I could play a 5, and then I could play a 5 and a 4.
And the number that he puts on top is the one that he must put the part on in his ship.
So I could, for example, put the 5 down
to match the
5.
5.
A 5 and a 4 as a wild to match the 3, and then that would let me place it on 4.
Yep.
So you can strategically use 2 cards in your hand as wilds to then have a little bit more control of the row, over the row where the part you want to place will go.
Yes. And you are going to be looking at your hand and what cards you have available to you while you're playing to try and figure out what you can place in, like, areas that I know I really want to get into. I might place the number that I have the most of because it's likely that Steve has less of. There's, like, some strategy involved in this.
And now, one thing I'm realizing, when we first played, we thought that Satellite scored at the end of the game.
No, they score when you place.
No, but when that first game we played,
No.
we didn't play that way.
No, we did. You didn't listen. I scored the satellites every time. That was the first game you played.
Okay, I think, but you also didn't teach everybody else that way. For whatever reason, everybody else thought.
Only the dude next to you and you. John and I knew.
Anyway, it seems important to pick your... But yes. I'm saying it seems strategically important to pick your satellites first, because it's a packing game, so the stuff you pick first is going to go out last.
Which is the important part. If I was to play a 5, again, so if I played a 5 here, I still add to my 5 row, and it goes on to the end. This is very important, because the order in which you pull off is the order in which you put in. So last in, first off, it's like a stack of papers. So you need to keep that in mind as you're building your rows. In addition to the normal stuff, when you take any colony bots, so Johnny 5s, you will score the number of points as per the month that we are in. So right now, if I were to take this B colony bot, I would get 4 points immediately. Sweet. That is the primary way of getting points in the first half of the game. The other way that you can get points is you can discard a card face down to Captain Steve's slot, in which case you get the Captain Steve token. Woo! And then you get to go first for the next round.
And a point.
And you get a point for doing that, yes. Then if you decide you're done and you want to pass, when you pass, you discard any cards you have left. You get 1 point per card that you discard. There we go. That's the rules.
So you went, so it's my turn?
Yeah, I did. It's your turn. Now we're going to play.
I would like to place a colony bot.
So you get 4 points.
I get 4 points, and then D Johnny 5 is going to row 3.
D Johnny 5. D Johnny 5. The rule that I didn't teach. There is one colony pod ship corporation thing for each company that has these little like golden crown things up here in the corners. It's hard to see. When you place that ship, you immediately gain points, 1 point per tile in the colony when you place that ship. So, those are important. And I grabbed one right off the bat.
Right, I forgot about that. One thing also is these points thingies that you're going to score, these represent people that want to move to your colony and they'll move to the best one or whatever.
Silly theme touch.
Silly theme touch. Some of the ones are important. The first player to empty your first, second, third, fourth, fifth row or all 5 rows.
I talked about that.
Get those 5 point tiles.
I talked about that.
Oh, you talked about that.
Yep. Okay. Gonna put that on my 4 row. The Bag In Builders is the name of this corporation that I'm going for. It's your turn. Oh, sorry. This is on YouTube, Trashorama. Hello over on Twitch. Wow, we have people on Twitch. You can hang out on Twitch, or you can hang out here on YouTube. I don't really care. I think we have one person in chat on YouTube right now.
The Evoc Corp is gonna go to my number 4. Your turn.
The 4 slot just makes me happy. Just happy little dudes. So here's a fun one. There's 2 4s right here. I don't have to play 2 4s in the center. I just have to play 1 4 because that 1 4 will meet the conditions of both of those ships. And I will do that not only for example purposes. Oh, no, I won't. I'm going to go here. I want this life farm. Life farms.
Farming the life.
Life. How do you do farm? Farm. Life farm. That's backwards.
Yep. I would like this bee colony to also go in my 3 slot.
Okay. That's awkward. You did not get your 4 more points. So I'm on that point. And now I'm gonna put that 4 there to get this shuttle. Woohoo! I don't know if you can push your ship up so that it's all in. Is all of your stuff? Yeah, all your rows are in frame. I just want all of our rows to be in frame. Also, I am Captain Steve right now.
Do you want all of your rows to be in bloom?
No, in frame.
I'm going to take this and get another 4 points.
That's fine. Load all the colony bots on the very front of your ship. It's a great plan. I think you should run with that plan. I also think that I really want this double loaded shuttle.
Yep. I'm going to place...
What you can place?
How's
the audio on this one? I know that we have the background audio of the thingy, but how's the, like, us talking?
I'm going to place a 3 and a 2 as a 5 so that I can place this E in
That's
location
funny because
3.
it adds up to 5, but that doesn't matter.
That's a different game, Kairos.
Oh, man.
Oh, you started as Captain Steve.
Yeah, I'm Captain Steve. I don't get a point for starting as Captain Steve.
You do not.
But it is important that I point out that I am Captain Steve.
Captain Steve is in port.
I'm going to pick up... Oh, that's super, super good.
So...
I'm going to pick up...
This is interesting. Our colonies are going to be...
This satellite and put it in column 1.
We're doing...
Row 1. 13
cards a round.
Yeah.
For 4 rounds, whereas in 4-player it was...
7.
Less. It was 7.
7 cards.
So,
yeah.
So we're gonna be packed like twice as.
Well, I mean, if you go the whole way, it's Galaxy Trucker but strategic, which is what I want. Hi, Rob. Galaxy Trucker is fun, but then like I get bored with it because the second half of the game is just for me. Is there's no strategy, and this is like
I'm gonna take this
entirely strategy. Galaxy Trucker.
Your turn. Well, yeah, it's roll dice and see how your ship does, which is neat, but it's roll dice and see how your ship does.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna place here.
Oh, the thing I was gonna say about the first to have no ships in the row, I don't know if you said, but if you start the colony phase with no modules in that row, you can claim it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can...
Spoilers on your strategy. Wow, that's a lot of colony bots. Did you get all of your points for that? No, you did not.
Oh, no, I didn't. I forgot to get the last batch. Yeah. Would you say that it's my turn again?
I would say that it's your turn again.
I think this life farm appeals to me. I'm going to put it... Wait.
What? You have to put it in 3. You have to put it in 3 or 1. You gotta put it in 3 or 1. Pick one, boy. Boy.
Put it in 1. Xena would like an additional chewy.
Did she already finish hers, or did Ichi take it?
She still has it. She just went over to the counter that she knows they're on top of and noticed them a little bit.
Oh, thanks for hosting, X-Wing Junkies. And hello, the Twitch viewers. I want to do things, but like it's awful right now out here. Okay.
I mean, space is awful.
Your face is awful.
Wow.
Yeah, I went there.
Yeah, well, your face takes up a lot of space.
Oh. All right, I'm gonna smack you. No, I'm gonna. Oh, that makes me so sad. All right, I'm gonna put these 2 cards here to act as this 3 to pick up.
Also, conveniently, they add up to 3, which
they
also
do, which is
matter.
not. Yeah, but it goes in row 1 because that was the first one. So yeah, there we go.
I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to use these 2 2s, which also add up to 4, to represent a 4.
And the 1.
And the 1, and take that shuttle to put it in row 1.
Alright, Fine. You're a jerk. I'm keeping future Steve, and I get a point.
Well, then I pass.
That's not how that works, but okay.
What?
You don't put the discard. That's not discard. Future Steve's office is not discard. Okay. Future Steve's office, that's discard over there. Mr. Current Steve. Alright, so I have 3 cards left. So I have enough cards to place in the difficult spots. There's a few difficult spots that I could place in. Or I could discard these for 3 points. So yeah. Night, Rob.
Alright. Hey, Rob. See you, Rob.
Steve is already blitzed ahead on the points track. I could use all 3 of these cards to place in an area.
I mean, some of those satellites could be worth Mondo points.
I mean, that satellite, it's just, you
it's
get...
for one city?
And because there's 2 3s here, I just have to play 1 card.
Choose any one of your city rows, get 1 point per tile on that row, including the city sign.
Yeah, so why would I not? That's the question. Because I only have to play 2 cards there. So
Yep.
I'm going to play this one.
Yep.
To get it in my 5 row, and then I will discard this last card for 1 point.
Very nice.
So that is the first round. So any tiles that were not drafted, they go to the space junker. All of the cards come back and get shuffled.
Maybe they get dumped back on Earth.
And then we advance the round marker, and more
maybe tiny little
tiles come out.
Tiny little robots with binocular eyes will clean them up.
Yeah.
All the parts we didn't use.
Yeah. No, Wally's not here yet. We haven't left yet. Wally doesn't.
But Wally will eventually clean them up.
Wally will eventually clean them up. We should watch Wally after we're done playing this. And fold Mount Laundry, which is on the couch, by the way. We got back from Essen, and we didn't fold our we did laundry before we left for Europe, but we didn't fold it. And so then we got back from Essen, and we've gone 2 weeks without doing laundry. So we were out of clothes. So we did all of the laundry.
Well, no, we did laundry when we got back, but only one.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, I did. You did.
Why didn't you tell me? And then, so anyway, the couch is entirely covered in laundry, and we have to fold it. And instead, I've been playing board games and making videos. Speaking of which,
one thing I will say.
Hang on. Essen Day 1 vlog will be live for patrons later tonight because it's uploaded and rendered. It's ready to go. I just got to do some stuff to it with thumbnail stuff, and then I'll go to my patrons. So Essen Day 0 is already live to my patron supporters, including first impression reviews. Okay, now I'm done. Steve can go.
I will say one of the things that I struggled with first time I played this.
Was this from last round? No. Yes, that was from last round.
Because they all of them faced that way.
Well, now they face the other way.
That's a good way to tell if you didn't forget.
I didn't really do that on purpose. Okay. Steve is the secret laundry.
The satellite and the population ship descriptions are on the back of the rules, but when we were playing 4-player, I had a hard time keeping track of what all of those did. So this game, I'm keeping this in front of me so I can actually remember what they all do.
That's good.
Or see what they all do.
All right, I'm ready for cards.
You ready for cards?
Come on, Kairos.
All right, there's your card.
No, cards. Dang it. Okay.
Four left over.
Okay.
Those are 30 cards. 13 cards each equals 26. Plus 4 equals 30. I can do math.
You can do math. Oh, I like this game. I know that there's... I really like games with minimal player interaction. If that's no secret whatsoever. I'm really interested to have a conversation with you, Mr. Kyrez, about your opinion about this game when we're done playing it. In comparison to your opinion of Altiplano.
I am actually very excited to play this correctly, knowing all the rules.
I think he's making comments about how I teach games.
Such as when satellites score.
Yep.
That appears to be a very important rule.
Yep. Okay, I'm Captain Steve.
Mm-hmm.
I get to go first.
Captain
Future Steve.
Is it Captain Future Steve or Future Captain Steve?
I think it'd be Future Captain Future Steve. Because, hey, Netters, you made it. Welcome to the stream.
Where we're traveling to a new planet.
We're not traveling yet.
Okay, we're preparing to travel to a new planet.
We're preparing to travel to a new
like
planet.
the day
we're leaving Earth behind. Spoilers.
It's like the day before 3-day weekend, and we're just packing the car full of colony parts.
Yes.
And rafting
We're
supplies.
going to Burning Man, but Burning Man's another planet. Alright, I'm going here for a colony ship, which gives me 4 points! And it goes in Dock 2. Oh, do I want to do that? I take it back.
Wow.
Yeah, I take that ship back. Take it back to the pun. No,
I won't take that ship from anybody.
Sorry, I just, I'm making hard life decisions about my colony. No, that's fine. I'll do that. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. And I still get 4 points. Steve's turn! YouTube is wonky. Oh, no! Oh, yeah, no. YouTube changed how they did live feeds, and so I set the reminder. I don't know anymore with YouTube at all. The URLs are now different. There's not just like a general Tiffany's live channel. Okay, now did she steal Xena's? Or is Xena still over there?
No, Xena's is still over there. Yeah, I also didn't get a message on YouTube.
YouTube recently changed something, and I don't know what's up with it. We might be moving to Twitch. Like, we'll always be on YouTube, but
it's probably just a setting or something.
Yeah,
right?
I would recommend if you.
Or no, I mean it's probably a setting for you to set right when you stream.
No, it's not. I did the setting that I normally do to ping people, and it didn't do anything apparently.
Well, right, I was saying maybe they changed something, so maybe there's some new setting.
Great. If you just subscribe on Twitch or do the thing that you do on Twitch, you'll be notified. So there you go. It's your turn! Or no, it's not. Dang it! I try to make you...
Well, I'm wondering, because it was... You did something for making the stream private when we were in Germany, and I haven't... Like, it doesn't even say you're live on the channel. So that's what I was thinking last time, is maybe you never turned that off. That's what it is!
I turned off the public stream thing. Whoops!
Yeah, I was going to say that last stream, but I forgot.
That's helpful. I will fix that. I am sorry. It is entirely my Steve's fault. And I will fix that. Right now I'm really upset and sad at what Steve did. So I'm going to hate draft.
But I thought it was my turn.
Nope. I didn't realize you had gone.
Yep.
And in a way that makes me not like you as a person.
I mean, I don't like me as a person. That's a
lie.
What?
I was gonna say, what? You do like you as a person. Do we need to stop this stream and play Feelings? Which we don't even have right now. I like that game a lot, but we don't have it right now. We loaned it to a friend who has children.
I will say, I'm really, really happy I met Gizmo in real life. Gizmo is the best. There's a picture of me with Gizmo, isn't there?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Gizmo.
I'm gonna take this one.
There's a picture of me with Gizmo.
Great.
The bird.
The bird! I thought you were talking about Gizmo, the, dude.
What?
Also,
no, the bird.
You got another 4 points.
Actually, I got another 4 points.
Yeah, the YouTube is thing. Oh, Gizmo. Yeah, the picture with Steve and Gizmo was super cute. It made me happy. I want to meet Gizmo. Next time I'm in San Francisco. Hey, could you maybe not swallow that piece that you just swallowed? Okay,
that's a Chewy eating grin right there for the dog.
Yeah. Oh man. Alright, now it's your turn. No, did you do that?
Yeah.
Wow, you were fast this round. What is happening?
I know what I want.
Apparently. Great. I'm gonna go here and take that to get that. Was this a colony too?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get points for that? You did. You gave yourself points.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoop. Cena keeps trying to now she's trying to get Ichi to play with her. And Ichi's like, I have a Chewy. Gizmo says hi to you. Also. Your turn.
Does Gizmo know that I'm taking this colony ship too? For another 4 points.
Jeez Louise. I'm going to take the life farm.
It's probably a smart idea.
Put it here. I used to have a cockatoo that looked like Gizmo when I was young. Really, my dad did, but he said it was mine.
Oh, I can't do that. I will do this.
How you doing, Each?
I am taking this Evoc Corp, putting it on 4.
These are all colony bots. Do you see this? These are all colony bots. This is why Steve has 29 points.
7.
Your turn.
I'm gonna get another Evoc Corp ship.
I'm going to get this colony, or this shuttle, and put it there. It's crazy. I wonder if I can make the live streams public from my phone. Which would explain why if you went to my YouTube channel, it's not like blared across my YouTube channel now.
Well, yeah, that's what I noticed when we were streaming Altaplano.
It's your turn. I understand that. That is what you said.
Let's do another Evoc Corp. Your turn.
Nope. I can only set certain settings.
Do you want another laptop?
Yeah, maybe. Enable stats for nerds. That's funny. I'll just get up and walk over to there.
Oh, it's also your turn again.
It is my turn. That is what you said. Take this E-bot for 4 points.
Because it's a 3, I can just do a 5 and a 1 to be a 3.
You jerk.
Take the life farm.
You jerk. You jerk. Steve is a jerk. A jerk. I will secure my future Stevedom. Your turn. Look, if you want to be your future self, you gotta jump on that.
You gotta jump on that.
I mean, I would. It's future Steve of you. How did he not know that was gonna happen? I mean, really. Really.
Opera X is going up here. Geez, I'm running out of space.
Yeah, I need to put that other latch in.
Yeah, this placement is interesting with 2 players. With 4 players, it was strategic, a little chaotic.
It's a lot more strategic in 2-player. I'm gonna do 3-4 with this on the 3.
Very nice.
Yep. Your turn.
I am just gonna discard 2 for 2 points.
I am Steve. Netters is curious why you don't like Altiplano.
I think I in both the games we played, I haven't really gotten into it. I don't want to say that it's necessarily dry, but there's so many different things you can do, and the sort of rondel type movement doesn't really limit you, and it's very sandboxy. You can do whatever you want, and the only real interaction is kind of hate draft something that your opponent wants.
But you have to hate draft like a lot.
Yeah, you have to hate draft a lot because there's so many things they can do. So it's felt like kind of a chore for me, at least in the early games.
To try and hate draft me.
To try and hate draft you. No, where it's like, oh, I can take any one of the 10 houses or 10 boats or 10 contracts. And it's just like, in the early game, I don't know enough to know what I want, because what I want is determined by what I'm going to do.
I'll tell you what you want. What you really, really want.
Oh my god. But so it hasn't grabbed me yet.
I keep trying to get to grab him. It's not going well. I don't think it's gonna stay in this house for very long, which makes me sad because I really enjoy it. This morning I was playing it by myself. He was here and he was sitting next to me and I was playing, and then he was like, "Wait, are you playing without me?" And I was like, "Yeah, because you don't like it." And so then he occasionally would take turns, but it didn't matter to me. I just kept playing.
The setting up my turns also, it's very like combo based, and if you mess up, which I've frequently done, which is not a slight on the game, but if you mess up, it's very much like, oh, I can do this one thing or this other thing. So it's very much about setting yourself up for future turns.
I think it also just comes down to like that kind of it works very well for my brain and how I plan and how I do things, and it doesn't really work well for Steve's brain. Or I mean, it works. It's different.
It's just very like, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna fix the YouTube settings.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, Captain Future Steve, it's your turn.
I know. I just am fixing things.
But yeah,
Hey, look, it's unlisted and now it's public. Sweet.
So we were doing secret patron streams all this time.
We were doing secret. You were paying attention on Twitter streams. Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm interested in what Altiplano would be like with more people, because you can do so much of it kind of simultaneously. Like, yes, you're technically taking turns, but I think it would let,
with the exception of
when you're racing for stuff. So I think it might not slow down too much with multiple players, other than people not knowing what they want to do and taking a while.
Yeah, I think it, when finished, would get to like a good ping pong or tennis match, where you'd be playing, and then you'd realize, oh, the thing that I want is gone. When did that happen? 2 turns ago. Damn it. My cards are not what I want them to be. I'm going to do that, to pick up that, and to row 5. Stupid turn! That's Altiplano. We're not playing Altiplano, by the way. If you logged in and were confused about what Steve was talking about. He was talking about Altiplano, a game which I have tried to get him to play for 2 days. It's not going well. It's not going well. Aww. Well, I mean, it makes me... Angela in YouTube said that she really wanted Altiplano until she watched our stream. LOL. Which, on the one part, I'm like, oh, I'm really sorry that we, like, sort of killed it for you. But at the same point, I'm, like, kind of happy that we saved you from buying a $60 game that you won't enjoy. So that's where I am on that. I'm guessing that the MSRP is $60. I think that's... I can't remember what I paid for it in euros, because I pre-ordered it so long ago. I pre-ordered so many games.
Did you pay for it when we picked it up?
I might do a Patreon post about how much money we spent at Essen, just to put it out there because I think it's really something that's interesting and I think it's worth putting out there. Because I really like being honest and transparent about that sort of stuff. So I think...
Oh, I only get 3 points for that colony bot.
Yeah.
I gave myself 4.
You're such a cheater.
Yep. That's a me. Future Steve.
Future Steve is,
I would totally dress up in that outfit with that, like, cloak thing with that little...
You heard it here,
the
folks.
class thing.
If we could get somebody that does cosplay design, costume stuff.
It's a salt and pepper beard and a blue cloak. Like, there's no design needed. It's just...
Oh my gosh.
It's just be yourself.
Well, and, like, the green turtleneck
Yeah.
thing. I mean, you say
also,
that.
look how many things those eyes have seen.
He's got
grizzled.
contacts or laser eye surgery.
Yeah.
Would you get
true.
laser eye surgery?
Depends on the lasers.
I love you. I also hate you so much, but love is a part of it.
It really is.
You have to love the person you hate. It's the only way this works. Shiznit. This is not like
love the one you hate.
This is not
love the one you hate.
This is not a great thing in my opinion.
You do have to love the one you hate. There's a whole song about it.
You do, in fact, have to love the one you hate.
I'm gonna go.
2 times with 5 players. Oof, that's rough. Yeah. Yeah. You should try it at a lower player count. But I can see the game end thing being hard to target at larger player count. At 2 player, it's a lot easier to aim for because you are only allowed to buy 1 extension tile per round.
Your turn.
So it's easier to calculate and determine that kind of stuff.
It's been a really long time since I played Orleans, but I feel like I really did enjoy the player interaction in it. In terms of the, like, racing to place stuff, and Altiplano very much felt a little bit less of that.
See, and I think with the Orleans, I get kind of, like, exasperated by the player interaction stuff. Like, it's unnecessary fodder, and I like the simplicity and the boiled down nature of Altiplano. So, we are a house divided on that front. Did you get more points for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure you are...
I think I'm going to end up in your colony here.
You are going to end up in my colony. It's going to be awkward for everyone involved. I am going to pick up this super valuable satellite.
And then I'm going to...
Here's an interesting one. If you have a card that you need to pick up a thing, you might not want to play it and instead play the 2 cards so you can put it in a different row. Mm-hmm. There's like some interesting things that you can do in this game.
I'm really enjoying that, either because this is the second game or because this is 2-player.
I think it has more to do with your second game, because this is my 3rd game.
Mm-hmm.
Your first game, you're not going to know how to set up your shuttle. You're not going to know how to program your ship, and you're just going to fail miserably and hate yourself. Where in your second game, you're
doing this.
Yeah, you have a strategy and you know how to work it, and so it becomes less about playing against yourself and more about the draft part of the game.
In the first game, I was totally playing against myself and just like had no idea what's happening.
Yep, that's how I would say this game works. I want to do that. Speaking of Altiplano streams, because the Altiplano stream screwed up, it actually didn't screw up as bad as I thought it would, and I'm making a compiled video on YouTube to go up, so we might not actually stream it again tomorrow. Xena is just standing there staring at Ichi, while Ichi tries to swallow a Chewy. Xena, can you come here? Zizi.
Xena, come here.
Let's not force her to swallow Chewy bits that are too big because you're staring her down. Does she still have her own Chewy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ichi, I'm gonna take that from you. Because she's trying to swallow a piece that's too big.
Also, Xena is maybe
Ichi,
stealing the
Do you want
other
a treat?
piece. Xena!
Ah, she swallowed it. Did you manage it? Are you gonna choke? You got it?
Also, Xena's gonna steal the other part of
Well, I think Ichi stole Xena's.
No, she didn't. Okay, now Ichi did.
Now Ichi stole Xena's. Okay. And Ichi stole... Or Xena stole Ichi's. I think that's all Xena wanted. Was a different
It
piece.
is.
We need
just
to
have to make sure that she doesn't.
Because this one doesn't know how to regurgitate well. Ichi is really good at it. Xena is not.
Okay.
We'll just take turns with eyes on the dogs.
It's my turn. Can you keep an eye on the dogs?
Are you sure it's your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
Which means it's... If there's an equal number, it's your turn. If there's an odd number, it's my turn.
Okay, it's your turn. I'm watching Xena.
Teamwork.
It's exciting times at Dog High.
I'm gonna place a 1 and a 4 to be a 3, so the opera can go on the top here. Your turn.
Okay, you watch the Xena. Play the tennis of the dog watch. It's when she gets it soft enough to put the whole thing in your mouth that you start to get worried.
She's getting close to that.
She's got time. She's got it to the side.
Yeah.
I don't know why she's chewing the side. She's hiding it. She already knows. She already knows you're going to attempt to take it. I'm going to do... That isn't... no, that's actually a really good option. I'm going to do that. Nice. I'm excited. Alright, I've got the ZI. No, they're fine. They're fine. Okay. Sit down and take your turn. I got the ZIs. There's another piece over there that Ichi's working on. And Xena has that piece.
Did you say it's my turn?
It is your turn.
You took your turn.
She's trying to break a piece off. She's doing good. She's doing the right thing. She broke the piece off. How big is this piece? This piece is gone. It was a small enough piece.
Okay, I'm gonna do a 1 and a 5 to get roundhouse. Put roundhouse up in number 1. But I got the fancy crown one too. Your turn.
Alright, eyes on Z. She ripped a piece off. She's working on breaking it into smaller chunks. She's doing the right thing, Mr. Overprotective Father.
When have I ever been accused of that?
I'm gonna do that to take that in my row 2 and get 3 points. Who is that? Is that this one? How you doing? Just take a break. You don't have to finish it. I can take it from you and save it for another day. Is that what you want? I can do that.
Sounds like a threat.
That did sound like a threat. She's over it. She's just sitting next to it, garden.
I'm gonna put 2 fours.
Very smart.
2
we
fours
should
to be
ours.
a wild 1.
Did you know there's different sheets in there? Nutters. There's like different size. You're doing a good job. He's doing a good job ripping it into smaller bits. Ichi.
Your turn.
I'm gonna have to take it from Ichi. Which is gonna be a problem.
Does Xena still have any?
Yeah, she does. She's tearing it into small pieces. She's doing a very good job. MO. She's doing a very good job at not killing herself.
It's a challenge.
It's one that you face every day. I know. Okay. I have to play that, and then I have to play that. Okay, so I have to do 2 to match the 5, and then 1 to match the 1 to get the shuttle to put into slot 1.
Yep.
Whew. This is crazy. Did we miss moving the round marker up? Have we only drafted... Oh. Yeah, Netter's Abby passed away on Friday. Yeah, she was really sick. They think she had cancer. Oh, it's in her whole mouth. I got Ichi. You got Zizi. Ichi, do you want a treat? Come on.
No.
Zena, do you want a treat? Do you want some stuff? Don't say no.
Yeah.
Just try to coax it out of her. Do you want a treat?
You don't get the whole thing.
Here, do you want a treat? Steve. No, Ichi. Steve. Sit.
Zena, come on. No. Open up. Open up. You don't get the whole thing.
Zena, sit. Do you want a treat? Oh, it's treats. Okay, come here, H. We're just taking chewies from doggos. Don't worry about us, Internet. It's all good.
Yes. Good girl.
Good job, Zena.
Good girl.
Yes. 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 Good girls. Sit. Yes. Good girls. All right. Chewies confiscated. Six. I put them right there, but Zena will grab that if you're not careful. They're in frame. Maybe put them on the shoe thing. Yeah. Yeah. She okay, we're back. Are you done?
I don't remember.
I did the 3 cards to grab the shuttle to put in my slot 1.
I might have done something. Count how many cards there are.
I don't want to.
12 sometimes. Like
2,
12.
4, 6,
It's
8,
struggle.
10. There's an odd number of cards. It's your turn. So yeah, Netter's, the vets, there were multiple vets involved, think that she had cancer, and that it just, was at a stage where it was kind of, there was nothing really that we could do aside from make her comfortable. So, yeah, she, her white blood cell count was pretty high, and we did as many tests as we could, and then it got to the point where, to do more tests would put her under too much stress, and they couldn't do more tests. So, yeah. But she was snuggly and sweet until the end. And I'm trying really hard not to go get a kitten. Because a kitten will not replace my Abadabba. I just keep remembering, like, how good... I, like, go and watch old streams that we have with Abby still. And I just see how good of a cat she is in regards to, like, games and respecting games. And then I think of a kitten. And I no longer want to get a kitten. So, yeah.
That is actually going to go in the 5 spot. My first satellite.
When you filled it out. Oh, okay. Alright, on that note, I am going to take Captain Steve. Boop.
And then I have no cards left.
What
are you going to do about that, Kairos?
Discard my last one for a point. I feel like we should be drafting less rounds. This is crazy. Do you draft all 5 rounds?
I think you do. That's what I was saying. That's why I was like, wow, we're going to have twice as many cards-ish.
This is crazy. Yeah.
Okay. Off to,
there's 5 rounds.
Watto's Junkyard in episode 1. These are all going
There's
to Watto's.
exactly enough tiles, so even if I'm off by the round count, which I don't think I am, we will know when we have reached the end of this phase. And this kind of happened to me last time, and it's with like 3 players. I get bored of this part, and I'm like, I want to build my colony.
Yeah, where I feel like I could do another round, but there's 2 more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also kind of the same, like, you know, sometimes in an engine building game, you're like, oh, my engine just got good and it ended. This is like, you kind of have more than enough time to get...
Well, but this is where you start screwing up.
Right, that's what I say, is you start screwing up because now you're going to have too many things. And
yeah. You have this, like, beautifully organized ship, and then it's going to get crazy. Which, I want to talk about Steve's ship. Steve's ship is very, very well. He has 1 row, which is nothing but colony bots. He has a lot of colony bots, by the way. And then he has a row, which is just satellites. That's this one. And then he has a number of corporate bots, but he doesn't really have a lot of shuttles. He's got 3 shuttles, and they're nestled in the corporate bots. Like, I noticed, looking at his ship, that he will have to drop some corporation pods into Atmo to access his ships. Because he doesn't have any shuttles easily accessible. They're all buried under corporate pods. And I think me pointing that out made him just realize
No,
that.
I know. There weren't very many shuttles in this last round. 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13.
Different sheets. What do you mean different sheets? Nutters. Different ships? Different sheets.
In Castles of Burgundy?
Oh, in Castles of Burgundy, yes. There are different sheets. There are A sheets and D sheets. You have to look. They get different. That's why the pad's double-sided. Also, I'm glad you like it. And laminating is a smart idea. We should laminate some No Siestas, because we play the heck out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to buy, like, mini wet erase markers and put them in that. That's a smart idea. Smart, smart, smart. And hey, I still go first. What do we got? What do we got? Alright. I'm gonna do that right off the bat. Pick up that one. Stupid turn. You know, for you going crazy on that, I'm not that far behind, which is interesting. Yay! I love No Siesta. I recorded a podcast all by myself about No Siesta. Which I should just link to patrons, because they'll tell me what they think of it. It's actually a great idea. I sent it to a couple people that I trust, and made Steve listen to it. And Steve's the only one that told me what he thought of it. But at the same point, I was, like, sitting on him, making him listen to it, so...
It's the perils of proximity.
Yeah, he was forced...
The perils of podcast proximity.
He was forced to tell me what it was. His thoughts and opinions. I hope you like No Siesta, Angela. We really like it.
I think... My first game, I didn't know how much the end of the game is controlled by player tempo, and knowing that going into it.
No Siesta, oh yeah.
No Siesta.
So crazy.
Well, I need to do that.
I will send it to you, Angela, if you DM me, just so I remember your Twitter handle. I will send you a link to it, because it's just on my Google Drive right now, so. It's very private right now, is what we would say. It's very private. Oh, there's some interesting things happening in the Kyra's household.
It's not a household, it's a spaceship.
You know, people live on this spaceship. People live here. Kyra's. People live here. I'm gonna do that. Oh, yes. I'm gonna do that. Each number, by the way, is different art. So there are 5 characters in the game. They don't really do much. Except for they're just art. So all the 4s are the same dude. All the 5s are the same person. Like, it's kind of fun. I don't know. I like the 4 person. And now Xena's having fun and playing. We seriously should watch WALL-E after this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a big WALL-E
Well,
room.
so someone, I think it was someone we were playing with that was saying the art didn't really do a lot for them because it's that kind of like, not dark sci-fi, but just kind of like...
It's base. It's like very...
It's like, well, it's like...
basic.
It's not a very stylized sci-fi. It's kind of like a... Things are metallic. People have serious expressions. There's a lot
Xena's
of like...
fun.
There's a lot of like grays and kind of industrial design. And talking about WALL-E made me think this would have a different feel, I think, if everything was a little bit more WALL-E Pixar-ish.
Well,
not in a good or a bad way,
but
just... I'm not saying it should be. I was just like imagining it.
I think it works for what it is. It's
It
just
totally does.
Generic sci-fi themes slapped on.
Oh, I didn't get my 2 points.
Abby was a sweet girl. I'm trying to find an artist right now to commission some art for us of Abby for the house. The problem is all the artists I really like and am willing to throw money at aren't taking commissions right now. So, yep. But we'll figure it out. It's not a super rush. I am purposefully playing this 5, and actually I don't need to play that 2 if I'm doing that. I can play anything. Anything
This would be
you
a
can
good puppy
do,
cam.
I can do better.
I just want to point out.
I can do anything better than you.
This would be a great puppy cam.
Yeah, that's great. I am singing about how I am better than you as a person. We have 1 round left. 1 round. I'm gonna do that to pick up that C-bot. Boom. Oh, hey, Mer. Da-da-da. What do we say? Mer came in and put a paragraph. Oh my goodness.
Putting the 5 down to get that.
Yeah, the artwork is a little bit drab. I mean, it's like, I wish I had this camera on because I could show you some close-ups, and I might actually plug it in temporarily to show some close-ups. Yeah. But yeah, the artwork's a little, it's just, I mean, it's very good artwork for sci-fi, but it's just very standard, and it's so small, and you're not focused on it at all. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the first thing that came to mind was like the new reboot of Battlestar Galactica style of sci-fi. You know? Just that sort of theme and look. It's your turn.
Hey, I saw that I wrote a first impressions on BGG as a review of this game, and I mentioned the fact that over repeated plays, it could feel solvable, and like, I know that I should have 1 row that does this, I know I should have, and Steve and I are currently doing that. This row is entirely colonies.
I think in a smaller player count game, because you have more cards, you can do that more. That's one of the reasons I'm experimenting this, because you only have, 7 cards in a 4-player game, you just can't really afford to specialize your rows as much as this.
As much. But you can still do it. I'm going to play...
Good girl, Zuzi.
Xena is being a very good girl, everyone. I just want you all to know.
She's like, okay, now maybe could I have that Chewy that you put up there?
Yeah, can I have the Chewy back, everyone? Please and thank you. Alright, I'm gonna do this here to get this E-bot.
Yeah.
And plug it under there for 2 points. And then it's Steve's turn. I didn't read the entire post, the strategy post about how this game is solvable. But I will say that if you're playing it at a lower player count, 2 players especially, you can easily implement a strategy which is pretty straightforward and pretty, I think it's going to do well. The difference is you have to watch your opponent and sort of draft counter of your opponent to make sure that it doesn't happen.
Very much watch all the special tiles and the special scoring stuff.
And in 2-player, if you're not focused on that, that's,
well, like, if your goal is to get tiles out without losing anything, that's cool. But depending on what your opponent does, they might be able to get stuff out faster than you and score those bonuses.
Yeah, depending. Xena's barking to go out. We're ignoring her. I'm trying to make a decision.
Decisions are hard.
It's not going great. I think I'm gonna have a problem, y'all. I think I'm gonna have a problem.
We're not gonna have a problem, are we?
We're totally gonna have a problem. Xena, no.
Xena, if you were in construction, what would be your favorite part of the job?
He's alluding to the roof, but, yeah. The roof. Yep, that's the one. See, this is the drafting part is what makes this game interesting on the interaction and the cards. And I think if you're playing with 4-player, it's a little tighter. It's a little harder to pull it off. You can do it. It's a lot harder, and you have to make other sacrifices that may or may not amount to points. There's some weird things with the ship points, but it's Kiesling and Kramer, and so I very much feel like they probably did their testing and development. Maybe. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I think the race elements in the drafting maybe conspire against the people building like monolithic type ships, but I don't know.
Oh man, this is rough. Okay, you know what? Sod it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna wreck it, Ralph. I'm gonna do this 3 and this 4 to get this one and put it on this 4 spot. Yeah.
I'm gonna put this 2 here and get this life farm.
Yep.
Actually, I'm gonna do this 1 and this 4 to get the life farm and put it in 1.
Hey, ZZ. You know,
hey, calm yourself, dog.
I'm gonna put these just like over here. Ichi, how you doing? You tired? You wear yourself out with that Chewy? No trips to the emergency vet, please. Well, I guess I have no choice but to take Future Steve again.
Mm-hmm.
It's your turn.
I think I will do a 1 and a 4 to push that in 4.
I pass and get 2 points.
Okay. I pass and get 1 point.
Boom! Alright, we're on the last round. Yay!
Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, I think I had 35 points.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll say that. We'll be charitable.
So it works out that all the tiles in the bag will come out. Yeah. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, this game also might be pretty group dependent in just that if people are really fighting you for scoring tiles and racing for certain scoring tiles and racing for satellites, it'll have a different feel than if your group is very sandbox and kind of letting people do what they want. Because I'm not really paying attention to what Tiff's doing.
And I'm sort of paying attention to Steve and occasionally doing things to, like, take things from him that I think he would want. But he seems to not care. I'm just gonna put that one out there. He seems to just not give a hoot about it.
Not give a hoot nanny.
Alright. Okay. Bag is empty. Woohoo! You are encroaching on my space, sir. I'm gonna make you build your colonies.
There's a lot of space.
And you're encroaching on mine. I don't understand why you gotta be all up in my spaceship. Yeah. I'm like already off of the board, so there's that.
Okay, 13 each.
I already did the final countdown. I was like, oh, I'm humming this other song instead of the final countdown. But I already hummed the final countdown.
I think our ships look a little different.
A little bit. It's funny because this is what my board looked like in Sunny Day. Oh, yeah, speaking of which, tomorrow, this is a little different. Tomorrow, Steve doesn't have work, and I only have work in the morning. So, we're going to stream all afternoon. So we're going to start streaming like probably noon or 1 o'clock for our time. And we're just going to hang out and we're going to play Essen games that probably won't get like a premiere, like a big night fancy stuff. So like the games that we brought back, that we bought for ourselves, or smaller titles, we're just going to play tomorrow. So we're going to play probably 1 or 2 bigger games, heavier games. And then we're going to play like a lot of the smaller stuff like Sunny Day and Karub card game and things like that. So if you want to come and hang out tomorrow on the stream, we'll be here all day just hanging out while you're at work. If you're at work, we're just going to be streaming.
All right, Future Steve.
Future Steve is from the future and is totally going here. Do that one. And I get 2 points. 2 points. 2 points. 2 points. I had wine for the first time in so long, and it was so delicious and amazing. I think it's been 2 weeks, or 2 weeks. Jesus, no. It's been 2 months since I had a glass of wine, and I had a glass of wine tonight. Sorry. I just wanted to share that. Because we went to Germany, and in Germany, you don't drink wine. You don't drink wine in Germany. You don't appreciate wine in Germany. Oh, you took the shuttle I wanted. That's fine. It's all good. It's all good. Hi, Z. Just lay on my foot. That's cool. Oh, you're an Ichi laying on my foot. I know that because Zeno walked in my periphery. What do I want? It must have been love, but it's over now. Nutters doesn't work tomorrow either. Woohoo! You should, it'll make it live afterwards. Yeah, it'll be like next week. But yeah, Nutters, you should come and hang out with us if you are so interested. We could play Castles of Burgundy, the dice game, remote together.
Whoa.
We could play, and then you could play along. That would be amazing. We should coordinate that.
The magic of lamination.
Over text message. Xena might need to go outside if you want to
take care of that.
Yeah. Yep.
We hear you, Zuzi. Go outside, but it's over now.
It's not over. It's just really cold.
All right.
Ichi, do you need to go outside? You haven't gone potty. Make Ichi go. Ichi, go. Go outside. Go on.
Okay. See. You going outside? Ichi, outside.
Go on. Go outside. Go outside.
Ready? Reset. Okay, outside.
Ichi, go outside. Go. Go potty.
All right, everybody, outside. Go potty.
And now it's Steve's turn.
Outside. Everybody, outside. Yeah.
Zena's just trying to play and get Ichi to chase her, and Ichi is not having it.
Outside. Go on. Go. Go. Ichi. Outside.
Ichi, go. Go potty. Go and go potty.
Yeah. Outside. Okay, Ichi, use the ramp. Good girls are gonna use the ramp. Okay, Ichi.
We built Ichi a ramp down the stairs, and you have to tell Ichi to use the ramp, or else she doesn't use the ramp. She just goes down the stairs still.
Good girl. Oh, no. 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 She went right next to the ramp.
That's fine. She didn't really want to go outside anyway.
Good girl, Ichi.
We have weird lives.
Good girl, Ichi. Okay, back inside. Incoming!
Oh, happy Xena. Happy Ichi. Steve, a turn.
I'm gonna do the thing.
Is the thing taking your turn?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. And Steve solved a shuttle problem, which is going to become my shuttle problem if I don't jump on it. Wow. So Murr owes 36 games by Kramer and or Kiesling, and 22 of them are by Kramer and Kiesling. And then the other 14 are either one designer or the other. Kiesling had 4 titles come out at Essen this year. 3 of them with Eggert Spiel, and 1 with Lookout Games, which is interesting. And I have played 3 of the releases now. I haven't played Riverboat. That's the only one left. And they are each very different, which makes me very happy as a consumer to see that range.
Mm-hmm. Were they all Kramer Kiesling, or were some of them just Kiesling?
No, they're all different co-designers. So, like, Heaven and Ale is, like, Andreas Schmidt and Kiesling. And then Riverboat is, I think, just Kiesling. And then Azul... One of them is just Kiesling by himself. And then all the other ones are co-designers. And this one is a Kiesling Kramer. So, yeah. It's interesting.
You're interesting.
I am interesting. Would you say that I am the most interesting person on the earth? I'm sorry.
You might be the most interesting person left on the earth, but there's a lot of people leaving.
See what I put up with? This is what I married. I mean, like, by choice.
I don't know.
It's just a whole nother argument. I got a shuttle. You got a Ichi coming in. It's your turn. Riverboat is one that we will be streaming on our own time. We're trying to do the sponsored stream. This stream is sponsored by Eggert Spiel. Before we start going into the ones that we really like. But I want to play Riverboat.
Can you use a number? Can I use a 4 and a 3 as a wild to make a 4?
Yeah. Why would you do that though?
Because I don't want to put it in 3.
Oh, I mean, yes, you can. I don't understand why that was a question, but yes, you can always use a wild even if you have the
same number.
Yeah.
Put that in 4. Your turn.
Steve is being very meticulous with his bot placement. And he's going to force my hand, folks. But that's fine. I'm taking the last shuttle away from you.
Goodbye.
And I'm putting it into that one. Yeah. Lookout and Mayfair are having some stuff, yeah. They've been having stuff since last year when they sold Catan. Like, they've been having stuff for a while. And then they sold Catan to try and recover it. And they're having more stuff. So,
your turn.
The industry is going through a lot of changes right now because of the Asmodee stuff with everybody, like all the acquisitions, and then older publishers that have been around for a while are having trouble keeping up with the younger, newer publishers that move very quickly and move like much, much quicker than them. So there's some interesting things happening. Yeah, I don't think I care about that. Hey, that was me. That was me. That was me. I'm taking this life farm.
Yep. I'm taking this satellite.
I'm taking Xena. It's okay. I'm taking that.
I'm taking this roundhouse.
I'm taking Future Steve. I don't know why you don't see that coming. Like every round. I like a Future Steve.
Okay. Well, is it my turn then? Is it my turn?
Yes, it's your turn.
I'm using a 3 and a 5 as a 2. Save that E.
Yep.
To get me 2 points.
I pass and lose a card, and I get a point. And then you're done? Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. We no longer care about this half of the game board and don't just
All right.
whatever.
To the junk heap.
Yeah, don't even care. All we care about on this part of the board now
the special colonization bot token is
the points, because now we colonize. And because I have future Steve, I get to go first in the colonization domino that's about to happen. What? So I need to just really quickly... Oh, that's awful. Oh, that's so awful.
That life farm is getting exploded.
No, I didn't realize that Pyramid Limited was a gold crowned one. That's gonna make things interesting. Okay.
Those cards can go over there.
Alright, cool. No, that life farm's fine. So, because there's a rule that I didn't teach Steve, but Steve already knows it. When you detach a shuttle, so there's like a special rule. So asterisk. Super unfair of me to teach it now, but Steve already knew it. When you detach a corporate bot, if it is immediately adjacent to a shuttle bot, you may also detach the shuttle with it. So this is safe, and that is safe. So I'm fine. See, and that's safe. Like, you already knew this rule. Okay, I'm going to start this off with the A colony, and I have...
Should I scoot my stuff over?
I have New Athens. You know what? I'm just gonna build right up in this row. So get your shuttles ready. All right, where are you going first? What are you building first? Well, no, but you need space for your colony.
There's plenty of space. That's why they call it space.
Well, but it needs to be in frame.
Oh, I can't build it. Oh.
No, it needs to be in frame. You could like move this entire thing down if you wanted. But just come on. Which gonna do? As you pull these off, it'll be fine. Your first place. What are you gonna do?
Defense.
Wow, that's pointless. Okay.
Hey, what do you mean point? It gets points.
No, it's sort of useless. I'm gonna do this E-bot to have New Essen. What?
I was gonna do New Essen first.
I got New Essen. Mm-hmm. The order that you put these in doesn't matter, but I like to put them in alphabetical orders.
I'm gonna start new E.
New E? New El Paso.
Yeah, not...
It's exciting.
They have board game conventions in El Paso.
Probably. I'm gonna start New Boston. Woot woot. Hey, girls! I don't know what that was. I'm sorry, internet. Hey, what was that?
I'll go look.
Okay, well, it's your turn. So...
Maybe a plane.
I think it was more of a car noise. Door slamming. It's your turn. Okay, it's your turn.
I'm gonna start new D.
New Dubai.
New Dubai.
There you go. I am adding to New Athens. Boop boop. Your turn. It's your turn. Tell me about it. Tell me how you really feel. Come on, Kairos.
New A.
I can't pronounce
New
that.
Ankara.
I'm doing the new B. Or no, I'm adding to my B colony. Kairos' turn.
I think
gonna do some life farms?
I'm gonna do some life farms.
Okay.
And my life farms are gonna fly out of my colony.
Different colonies, if you want.
They can go anywhere.
Yep.
But I think they're both gonna go to A.
Okay. I'm gonna do.
And then this colony ship will hang out there.
New Chennai. New sea planet. Or sea colony. Sea city. To say. Your turn.
I'm gonna do another shuttle. And this shuttle is gonna add 2 roundhouse builder ships.
Nice.
To New Ankara.
I'm gonna do D, which is the new Dakar. Boom. Ba-ba-boom. Kara's turn.
I'm gonna do. Do I want to do this? Yeah, I'll do it. This shuttle is gonna take the Opera and the Roundhouse builder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put the Opera in New Dubai.
Yep.
And the Roundhouse in New Ankara.
Yep. Which is 7 tiles. So you score 7 points.
Yeah, including that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So you get 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'm gonna pop this shuttle with its life farm off and attach this bag in builder's corporate, fly it over and slot it onto my A track. And then my shuttle just parks.
And then I'm gonna take this shuttle and actually, well, I'll do this one. This shuttle and 2 operas is gonna add on to New Dubai. And I'm at 4 shuttles.
Okay. I'm gonna pop down this A to here, and it's Kairos' turn. I'm gonna move this up a little.
This shuttle and these life farms are going to be added to New El Paso.
Okay.
And that gets me to 5 shuttles, taking this 5-point bonus.
And you emptied your 1.
Oh, and I emptied my 1, yeah.
Which, I think you get these points immediately.
Should we do them? Oh, yeah, because these could trigger the thing.
Yep, so you get 10 points.
63.
Do you only get 1 at a time? Double check that.
You get as many as you want.
I pop A off and add it to here.
Did you finish your 2 just now?
Which gets me the 2. Which gets me 5 points.
This shuttle is going to give me 3 points for
satellite.
every... This satellite is going to get me 3 points for every roundhouse. So that will be 9 points. And then because, yep.
So he gets the 70-point trigger, which gives him another 7 points.
Yep.
I'm going to pop off this C-bot and add it to here. Could you pop off more of these bots, please? That'd be helpful. These are the actual names. The little tiles they're all new, some existing city. So yeah. And the corporations are named that, and yeah.
So this shuttle is going to take the Opera X and EVOC. The EVOC will go to New El Paso, and then the Opera X will go to New Dubai.
So I'm going to pop off this satellite, which has its own propulsion, and turn it into a shield, and I'm the first person with all 6 things, so I get that.
With all 6 what?
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have all 6 colony types.
Oh, I should have done that.
51. You should. I was watching it.
Those are my next ones. Yep, should have done it.
Well, no, but Oh, yeah, but you didn't.
I didn't.
You didn't.
I didn't.
It's your turn.
This shuttle is gonna take 2 evoc. Oh, shit. That was here. I can do this, right? This shuttle will take these 2.
Yeah, you can do that.
So these 2 are gonna go to New El Paso.
Okay. I'm gonna take this shuttle, just pop off this bag ender and this pyramid, and bag ender will go here, and pyramid will go. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We'll go here. Also, this is 8, so I'm going to claim this one because Steve didn't remember to claim it, so I get it.
Right.
This is very mean, but at this point we've played this enough.
Oh.
I'm gonna be mean about it.
I have 3 life farms.
It's not your turn.
So
It's not the end of your turn. You gotta,
turn.
yeah, at the end of your turn, you gotta do it.
But I'm gonna found the B city. New
Which
Bangkok.
is New Bangkok. And then
And
he
then at the
remembers
end of
his
my
life
turn,
farms. Yep. Yep. It was gonna take me a while to snag that one from you anyway, so that's fine. I'm gonna do this shuttle to pop off this pyramid limited and this bag end builder. So there's that, and then shuttle's parked there. And it's your turn.
I will found New Casablanca.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna pop off this one, which gives me 2 points for every A colony. So it's the 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get 8 points
Nice.
for that satellite. So I'm at 66. Steve, a turn.
I'm gonna add this to New El Paso.
I'm going to pop this shuttle off, and it's already ready to go. And I'm gonna do the bag enders, and
Oh, I forgot about the city size bonuses.
I'm gonna do this one in the pyramid town, and it's a crown one, so I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. And then it's Kairos' turn.
I add this to New Bangkok.
Yeah, but you're gonna dominate those points. I am going to do this shuttle with pyramid and a life farm. I'm gonna send life farm to the C town, pyramid to my B town. Shuttle's parked there. Steve already got the shuttle bonus.
Add that to New Casablanca. Your turn.
I'm gonna pop off this one with that one. They're gonna go over, and they're gonna do to C. Yeah.
This one's gonna go to New Casablanca.
This shuttle is gonna pop off with this life farm and this bag end builder, and we're gonna drop the bag end builder over here. Interfering with Steve's space colony. And I'll do life farm here.
Did you just finish your number 4?
Yes, I did. What do I want to do there? It's currently at 6 tiles. You have 4 tiles, and you can't add more to it. So I'm gonna do there. The A is really good. That's fine. It's my colony is bending out.
My E is gonna go to New El Paso.
Yep. Okay. Oh, I also finished the 4. Yes. So I got 5 points. So I am here. Coolies. So I'm gonna do this satellite, which gets me. I can't remember that satellite.
Points for your longest city.
Is it?
Choose one of your city rows, 1 point per tile on that city, including the sign.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I am at 89.
And then this D I add to New Dubai.
Yep. Alright, I'm gonna do this. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm gonna do this. Oh, I don't want to. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna do this shuttle with this one to drop in the bag-in builder with the crown. So I will get 1 point per everything in this row. Yeah. So that's 13 points because I added a tile. So I'm at 102. Kairos' turn. If only there was a bonus for the most shuttles, but there ain't. Oh, and that finished my 5 row, which is that one,
and then
which gets me another 5 points.
B for New Bangkok. Your turn.
I will drop this one, which is disgusting. This tile is disgusting. Are you ready? It's a multiplier. The number of colonies times the number of corporation tiles in that colony.
Yeah, that one is really gross.
Yeah, so I get 1, 2, 3, 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's either times 8 or times 6.
Wow, that is
it
so
times
gross.
8 or times 6?
It's just the number of terabots by the number of builder units.
Yeah, so I get 4 times 8.
32 points.
Yeah. Boom.
Okay, there's no way I can catch up. But it's my turn. I put
the drafting part is
Dubai.
pretty low. This is very AP, but we like planned these while we were drafting. So we're just implementing the plans that we were doing for the whole part of the game.
Your turn.
I'm going to do this satellite, which I believe gives me 1 point.
I finished number 3.
This one gives me 1 point per colony bot?
Yeah.
In a row or just total? Gain in my settlement area.
Wow.
Oh, you really wanted that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that one gets me 10 points.
Okay. This colony is going to do Opera X, which is going to go here and get me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Also, I got 5 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if I scored all of those. I don't know if I scored
I give you that one. I don't know if I give you that one. I didn't give you that one.
I didn't get that one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Unless I did, and we'll go back and I was cheating. But.
So this is my 5th satellite, which gets me 5 points.
And then this one just went.
But this satellite gets me 3 points per bag-in builder. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 3. So
18.
I get 18 points, please, Mr. Kairos.
67.
Yeah, 67.
My turn.
Yep. You're gonna empty your ship first.
Yeah. This Evot Corp is going to go here and get me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
This shuttle is going to become defense.
109.
I will say, our first games, both of our first games, this phase of the game took just as long as the other because we were just AP'd so much.
And then I just get 3 points for each of these. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 15.
Yeah. This E-bot goes and flips
1, 2,
to here.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
and then this
10,
becomes a defense bot.
14, 15.
Oh,
and then
sorry.
I finished that first. So that's another 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I got another 5 points.
And neither of us had 6 corporations.
No, because we both very specifically locked in, and neither of us had 6 shields.
But you did get the most, so yeah, you're probably gonna lap me.
Okay, so now we resolve this ship. Do we do the second place one for a 2-player game?
I think we do, because otherwise the delta was like super high.
I mean,
and it means you have to build all of them. And then don't you even lose points for each
you
one?
do. If you haven't built a type, you will lose points. But we both have built all of the types. So
Yeah.
we do all of it.
Oh, wow. In a 2-player game, award points only to first place?
Okay, wow. Okay.
Whoa.
So the most shields gets 15 points. I have 4 shields and Steve has 2 shields. So it's the number of shields depicted, not the number of tiles with shields. So I get 15 points. So I'm at 87. Largest A colony, which is my one that curbs. So I get 14 points. So I'm at 101.
201.
What? Oh, 201. Yeah, you're right. Largest B colony, which is again me, which is 12 points. So I'm at 213. Largest C colony,
which is also you.
Which is also me. So I get 11 points. Largest D colony is
I got 9 points.
Definitely Steve, which is 9 points.
I completely forgot about the city side stuff.
And then largest E colony is
8.
also Steve. So if either of us did not have one of these things, not the majority, just one of the features, we would lose 3 points for a thing that
and
we didn't have.
Each both had shields and one of.
So if I, for example, did not have a D colony, I would lose 3 points. However, I did, so I'm good. And the sad news is that I do not lap him. But the good news is I still win.
By a lot.
By a lot.
So I had 148 and you had
224.
Yeah, so I ignored the satellites way too much.
You did.
And really, I got 2 and you got 5. So.
I got this one. This was like one of the first things I picked up. And so then I just went crazy heavy on bag end. And then I've got this one, which is the multiplier, because I knew I was going heavy on bag end. And then I got this one, which was the count one. So I haven't logged a play since Sunday. That is so wrong. I didn't log our
Let's see. I had 9 shuttles and you had 8. So very similar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I
6,
started
7,
with
8,
shuttles
9.
heavy though.
I probably picked up too many colony bots. I did get points for them, but let's see. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, with 13 colony bots, I probably should have picked up stuff that gave me points for colony bots.
Yeah, I think that you went too heavy on colony bots and colony types. If we're gonna be honest,
colony types.
Yeah.
I had a situation where my D's and E's, which I wanted to get me points from the crown tiles, were just all the way at the back of the line. So I spent too many turns waiting for those to come out. Like, I should have just unloaded earlier to get some of those empty a row bonuses. I was just stubborn and wanted to get as many points as I could out of the D and E colonies.
You did, yeah. Which were the lowest scoring
I completely
colonies.
forgot they were the lowest scoring colonies. There's so many different types of scoring in this, it's hard to keep track.
Yep.
Like, I couldn't really be bothered to keep track of what all your satellites were doing, because there's a lot.
There is a lot. Well, you have to see when I take them. This is not a spiel lesson play. This is a stream play. And that's Reworld, though. I just wanted to say that that's Reworld. Thoughts and opinions about Reworld. I've now played at every player count that you can play at, and my thoughts. I'll let Steve talk about his thoughts first.
I don't have any thoughts.
You don't have any thoughts?
Nope.
At all?
Nope.
What would you do differently? I mean, you kind of already talked about it, I guess.
No, I just mean I don't have any thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm actually a robot. I'm not thinking.
No, but
or
robots
sentient.
have thoughts.
Do they?
Yeah, they have algorithms and thoughts.
What are those thoughts? No, it's just I mean, the first half of the game is a packing game, which is fun. It's like the drafting I find really enjoyable, and the packing stuff in what order.
I like packing games.
I think it just, at least for me, it needs more plays to figure out which satellites are most useful and when you want to get them and how you want to pack them. I don't know. The one thing I like about it is that scores can vary really wildly depending on what you score when, which I think leaves a lot of room for you to time things just right and also ways for you to screw things up.
Yeah.
I don't think either of us necessarily had an advantage from how we were packing. Like, both of us put all of our colony bots in one row. Well, no, I just mean,
all of my colony bots were not in one row.
Or not all, but I just mean, like, only putting stuff in like certain rows or whatever doesn't actually help. Like I got all my stuff down without anything burning up an atmosphere, but that's not necessarily the thing that generates you points.
Well, like having a row that is for the most part a specific thing is beneficial, but like restricting yourself on the drafting, this is where I think you went a little wrong. You restricted yourself on your drafting to make sure that you had a row that was only this thing. And I didn't do that. I tried to keep my rows more or less to one type.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't screw myself on the drafting to ensure that I had no shuttles mixed in with my stuff.
Well, I was also completely ignoring the satellite scoring.
Well, no, but like
No, I mean in the draft, just because they're complicated and there's too many of them.
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't want to have my turns take too long, because if you have to look at every card, look at all the cards in your hand, and then look at all the scoring things, it would just take way too long.
I guess. Well, no, but I'm more talking about how you pack your ship. I'm talking about you had a row that was like all colony bots.
Yeah.
But you like would not take things, or you would play cards very specifically to ensure that you didn't have colony bots anywhere else. And I think that was handicapping yourself. I think that you want to, in general, try and maintain this row is only this thing. But I feel like if you are too strict with it, you end up shooting yourself in the foot a little bit.
I mean, maybe not.
I mean, I think our scores kind of speak for themselves.
Well, no, it was just, I mean,
a lot of my points were from satellites.
Yeah.
This is very accurate.
Yeah, and then the other one, I also completely forgot about this whole type of scoring. Like, there are a lot of different types of scoring, and that is hard when you're playing your first couple games to keep in mind.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe something that you need to perhaps like suffer through, or like part of the early games is getting that wrong and not keeping track of all the things. Like a part of the game is you have to score your colony tiles on your turn, or you're like these tiles, and if you don't score them, it's kind of your fault. Like it's a little annoying in the sense that it's your responsibility to score them, and if someone doesn't, that's kind of them screwing up. But then it rewards you always keeping track of every possible scoring bonus you could get, which I think could slow the game down depending on who you're playing with.
Yeah.
Because they will always need to check every single one of the tiles to make sure they're getting them.
So, I've played this game 3 times now. And I want to say that I didn't apparently track that person's score. But this score of 224 is the best score by far. However, this is my best score also. I have improved by quite a bit.
Well, also you were simply getting more tiles in your ship in a 2-player game than a 3 or a 4.
I mean, that's part of it, but I just want to talk about scores. So, the first game that I played was a 3-player game, and the winner won with 157 points. And second place was 119 points, and I got 92 points. My next game was a 4-player game, and I improved my score, and I ended up winning with 121 points, and second place was 105 points. And second place was also a first play. And then third and fourth place were pretty close with 73, 76. And then on this game, I think higher scores are there because it's 2-player, but the difference is much larger, especially because 2-player doesn't score the second place on those. So it's 224 to 148. Even with the 2-player, I feel like I have grown as a player of this game because I have learned the significance of drafting and when to pick up things and when to like make them, basically to have a row that's like tucked aside on my ship and like how to pack it and do different stuff. And I feel like the more I play this game, the better I'm going to get at that. Like, the better I'm just going to get at packing my ship and pulling things out. Because the pulling out is, like, less... If you pack correctly, pulling out things from your ship is just natural. Like, there's not a lot of thought in the pulling out because you packed so efficiently. And I feel the more you play this game, the more efficient you're going to get at packing. Like, the more you move in life, the more efficient you get at packing. The more you travel, the more efficient you get at packing, right? That is going to be the case with this game. For replayability. So if you're playing with new players continually with this game, and it's always you versus new players, you are going to start dominating very quickly with this game. Because I feel like you are going to have an advantage over playing it repeatedly and learning the tricks of like effectively packing your ship. First plays of this game are at a distinct disadvantage. In all the games I've played, whenever we have a first player, like, they always suck.
Yeah, because your first party game, you don't even know what to draft or when.
Girls, it's the fridge.
No, it's Xena barking for a bit.
Sorry. The neighbors must have come home and put their dog out. And Xena was woken from her adorable nap. Yeah. And Ichi's come to protect me. Or hide in fear. I'm not sure which. So yeah. I feel like this is a game where if you're playing with a consistent group over and over again, you'll be fine. Like, if it's your same game group and you're going to get the plays out of this thing you're going to get, you'll be great. If this is like, you play with a lot of different people, and it's going to be, you are the constant factor, and you're going to be playing with a lot of different people consistently.
No one will want to play that second game.
Nobody will want to play with you.
One thing I will say is because there's so many different types of scoring, I know they're on the back of the rules, but it almost feels like a game where each player could have a reference card that just explained the different types of icons, because all of the cards and all of the tiles are just language independent, but there's so many different types of scoring.
That was me. They're both so high energy right now. Stop, let go.
Right.
I dropped it.
Yeah.
I made them bark once. You don't have to take it away from me.
It's a one strike rule.
No, it's not.
Yeah. I don't know, I think it could benefit from some kind of just player aid, maybe a fan-made one on, like, BGG.
I'm sure somebody will, like, just copy the back of that. Because the back of the rulebook is a great player aid. There just needs to be more than one.
Yeah.
But
especially in a 4-player game.
At the same point, I understand the scoring things and just got it already by my third play. So I think it depends on the person and the group.
Well, also, you played it once more.
That's what I literally just said. It was my third play, and I've got it.
Yeah.
I literally just said that. I feel like you're not listening to everything I'm saying today. Yeah. The thoughts about this game. I mean, we already talked about the art. And how it's very good art. It's very, like, just generic sci-fi. And that's it. That's all there is to say on it. Like, the art fits the theme, and it's very well done for what it is. But it also is just not super interesting from, like, a play standpoint. But the interesting part is, like, trying to draft and do the programming. So, I don't know what you would want out of this. I don't know what theme you would do with this to make it more compelling, to make you be more interested in the art. Because honestly, I feel like this is a game where, like, there's no reason to be super engaged and into the art.
Well, and I think
like,
also...
the AP potential in this game is so intense. I don't want people sitting there staring at the art and finding the adorable little details. You know?
Yeah. I think also, I mean, I didn't read the rules to really see the theme of it. But, I guess the art and the theme of it aren't really super evocative, other than just, hey, we're leaving, and hey, there's a new planet. So, like, the art is cool and distinct on the tiles, but it doesn't really mean much. And I'm not necessarily expecting the game to do that, but it's just like, I think maybe one of the reasons it feels a little drab is there isn't stuff that came across. Like, it wasn't a... There's not like an in-depth story that's brought to life through the art. It's just like, this is a new planet that has different biomes.
But I think that's okay.
And I think that's fine. I'm just saying that I think that's why the art isn't as...
But the art's really good.
No, it's good.
I'm just saying, really good.
I'm saying there's nothing behind it that gives it more flavor other than the fact that it's cool sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, it's like Altiplano versus Reworld. Like, Altiplano, they did a really good job on the art, and there's like a story of your alpaca farmers and da-da-da-da-da. And when I play the game, I don't care at all. And I'm like, it's pointless. Why did they spend so much money on this art when the art has nothing to do with what you're doing in the game, and I don't care because I'm focused on these other things. Like, Reworld went the other way with it, where they made very good art, and they didn't worry about making it a big theme thing. Like, they didn't care. It wasn't a big deal for them, because they were like, people are going to be so AP in the game anyway, like, why We don't need to go crazy and have an evocative story.
And I didn't. And I
this
think
is a Euro. It's a Euro dressed up as a sci-fi game, which is typically not a Euro realm, and I think that's throwing some people off. I think that's really what's happening. Is they see a sci-fi space theme and they expect something more thematic, and it's not. It's just not.
Well, and part of I think
I'm just mixing. What?
In like more of a real world historical theme, obviously like the game and the Euro might not have a lot, but there is maybe real world subtext which you may or may not want to dig into that sort of colors.
I don't think there is. Keep going.
Yeah, no, like if you're playing a game about like generic colonial farming,
well,
like
most of the colonial farming games are historically set, like Santa Maria.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So you get...
And then people get pissed about that.
No, I know, but I'm saying you get some, like, flavor and some context for free just by doing the setting. And in the sci-fi, there's none of that because it's all made up, so you don't have any of that to fall back on. Like, there's New Dubai, but it's not a game that includes Dubai, and you could go, oh, Dubai is like this. So I'm just... No, but that's why there's nothing beyond the art or the theme, is because there isn't something to anchor it, and I think maybe in seeing sci-fi, people are sometimes expecting from sci-fi that kind of anchoring. I mean, but yes, it's a Euro.
Maybe. I feel like they could have, if they had made the corporations more interesting than just named colored things, they could have been more interesting. Like, you could have done more with, like, this type of colony is producing this good, and then there's, like, a whole other game in it, and it doesn't make sense for why there can only be one thing. And it's yeah. It is what it is, and it works well for the theme, and I feel like if the alternative is having a game set in 17th century farming once more, or, like, colonial Europe, I'd rather have generic sci-fi.
Well, and again, you may not want that theme just because of all the context that is attached to it. So,
yes.
like, you don't have any of that baggage when you go to sci-fi. So
yeah. I will say, this is a fun one. You don't really need these once you learn the game. All of these will fit into here. You don't really need these when you start playing the game. And I think this is in the rulebook. Maybe you need that.
No, you do need the named ones because you need to know which letter you have.
They're on the colony boat still. They're still a big A.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So you could fit, and you don't need the score track. You could just like keep track with these paper. So you could fit this entire game in this bag. You could put the mini cards in here. You don't need this. You just have to know the size of it. And so if you wanted to take this game as a travel game, this is just something I thought of. Like, you could fit the entire game into here. And you would have to do some things to make it playable as a travel game, but we could totally play this.
You just have to know to do a grid of 2 rows of 10.
Yeah, but like if we make custom player, if we're going enough to make custom player aids of this, like on the other side of it, put the like this size and some other like small setup stuff, and you could have a travel version of Reworld, because like this is the meat and bones. Everything else is just skeleton to hold it up. So if you have the skeleton in your brain, if everybody that is with you is an experienced player and the skeleton's in your brain, or just pen and paper, phones, you could do it.
Yeah, I
just thought that was really interesting. I'm not saying that's a negative. I think it's like legitimately, when I look at games and play games and enjoy them, I think of like how to make it, how travel friendly it would be, and like when I'm packing games back from Europe, I think about like dead air in the box, and
Angela says photocopy the board and fold it up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I thought that was interesting. Is that you could make a very travel friendly. This game is pretty travel friendly, not in like table space. You saw it takes up some table space, right? But like you could bring the meat and bones of the game that matters in this little bag, which is fun to think about, in my opinion. Anyway, Murr says he's totally getting this. If the names Kramer and Kiesling are on the box, the money flies out of his wallet. But I hope the play still interested you, not just beyond the thing. And Angela says it looks pretty bland to her, and we saved your money, which again, I'm very happy that we saved you money. I'm sorry that you didn't find the game interesting enough to get, but I'm happy that we saved you money in the end. And this is kind of a theme that I'm noticing from the Essen titles that we picked up. And I don't know if it's because I did too much research on my own, or if that's just, or if this is some indication of the releases that came out this year. But there's a lot of like really dry Euros this year. I mean, Santa Maria, super enjoy. I don't think it's bland. I think there's a lot of stuff going on. But like this and Altiplano.
Well, both of them are very sandboxy, do what you want. Altiplano being a get points in a lot of different ways game, and this is also a get points in a lot of different game way. This one is a race. This one is more of a race to get score bonuses, and Altiplano is more of a race to like. I guess the game has a fixed length, so it's more of a. Yeah, it's more of a build a better engine and get stuff before. But both of them are, I think, kind of sandboxy, lots of ways to get points. So, the draft of this, I'd say, is the most interesting and the most interactive. And I think I definitely like this more than Altiplano, personally.
Yeah, I was going to say, because this draft is, like, super interactive compared to how Altiplano works.
Yeah. I think one thing that's maybe a potential negative of this game is the draft is a lot of fun. And then there is a second phase to the game that is pretty much, like, unpacking in the order you put stuff in and, like, racing for tiles. And that part of the... It's fun, but it's not that same level of interactive as the draft, so the game does feel like it has a little bit of like a downhill, or it plays differently. So like you do a whole bunch of fun drafts, and then you just have to see how it plays out, which is fine, but like that first part is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So it is a two-phase thing.
It is, and I think that I mean, the second phase you couldn't have without the first phase. But the first phase would just be really boring if it weren't for the second phase. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, of course. But the second, because, like, they're not interspersed, like, it is a whole first phase and a whole second phase. And again, because there are 5 rounds of filling your ship, it does feel like it goes on perhaps a little while. And part of that is so that you have the opportunity to screw up your perfect ship. But at least when we were playing 4-player, it kind of felt like it went on a round too long. Well, but I think that's to give you the room to screw up your ship.
And I felt the same way here. We both were like, this has gone on 2 rounds too long on this one. But I think, again, it's to screw up our ships. Which didn't happen. Steve saved his ship because he did not have enough shuttles. You didn't have enough shuttles until the second round. Yeah. I have not played Palaces of Carrara, so I don't know. But I assume if the programming thing is different, the packing part. Yeah, but that's Reworld, designed by Wolfgang Kramer and Michael Kiesman, and published by Egert Spiel, who graciously gave us this copy to stream. Thank you very much. If you did not know, Egert Spiel was recently acquired by Plan B Games, which is a North American-based publisher company, and has distribution set up already in North America, which is great because Egert Spiel has distribution set up in Europe. And so because of that, these beautiful Egert Spiel titles will be coming to America much sooner than they were previously, with their deal that they have with Stronghold. So I don't know if that interests you, but this title will be released in early Q1 of 2018. So yeah, look for the Egert Spiel releases that came out at Essen for Q1 of 2018. Or you can get it now online at certain retailers that buy excess product at Essen and then sell it to North American consumers. So, yeah. Coolies. Okay. Any other comments about Reworld?
I don't think so. I enjoyed it. I played it at both 2 and 4 player. I think it just needs more, at least for me, it needs more than one play to kind of figure out how I feel about it, just because it takes every play you need to learn a different layer of it.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yep. It definitely needs multiple plays. This is one where if you play it and you don't like it, like if you were interested in it and then you play it and you don't like it, play it again. Because you will hate past versions of yourself in your first game. You will be cursing past Tiffany or past whatever your name is. Oh yeah, the box art is awful in regards to what's in this game. If we want to talk about generic sci-fi story, generic sci-fi story. No implication. On her watch it says Cairo. In cryo in either a minute and 10 seconds or an hour and 10 minutes. I'm not really sure, but her watch says 110 cryo, and then you see some ships in the background, and that's also the way she's looking at her watch is very weird. She's just like this. Which I can't even see my watch right now. I need to, and then this is...
Maybe you're in the process of rotating your arm to see.
But, this is weird. Maybe I'm in 0G. Maybe I don't,
yeah. If she is in space, that is a reasonable assumption.
I have to use muscles to extend my fingers to that extent. Like, if I relax my fingers, they're just here. So, I mean, I guess... Anyway...
Yeah, it felt like the love for this game was in sort of the mechanics of it, of putting stuff on the one side of your ship and dropping on the other, and the other themes and stuff were just sort of what it needed to do to get published. But I think all the love was definitely in just the planning that you need to do in the game, and everything else is just kind of what it needed to get out.
Yeah, I like it. I think that the theme is... I don't need it. It's pretty. I like the art. I don't think there would be a better theme that would fit it. I agree with everything that Steve said in regards to why the art doesn't feel amazing. Yeah. Sweet. I think we're done here.
Yeah. What are we doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're streaming! Tomorrow Steve doesn't have work, and I only work in the morning, so in the afternoon we're gonna play games. We're just gonna stream games that we brought back from Essen that are shorter titles that maybe don't make sense to have their own stream in the evening. I don't know if anybody's going to join us. I don't think so. I think most of our friends have to work. But yeah, you should tune in and hang out with us during your workday or in your evening or in your super early morning, depending on where you are in the world. I think we're targeting between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. because after we stream a bunch, we're going to go walk the dogs and go on a date. Because our anniversary was Halloween and we were flying and then we came back and some stuff happened. And so we didn't really do anything for it. So... we're going to do that tomorrow. I guess to celebrate our anniversary, we're going to play games a bunch and then go to dinner. And you're invited to the playing games a bunch part.
Not the after part.
I mean, if you're in Portland and you want to come to dinner with us, don't. Is that too mean? If you happen to be at the restaurant that we are at and you're sitting at your own table some distance away, we could wave. I think that's where I'm going with that. So yeah, all right. Yeah, maybe she's leaning on the glass. Maybe that's what's up with Angela. Sweet.
No, I don't think she's leaning on the glass.
No, maybe it's bubbled. Maybe it's bubbled. Maybe the glass is bubbled
in.
Yeah. I don't know why you would do that.
Oh,
but
well,
maybe
there's her reflection. I mean, maybe she's listening.
Maybe she's listening to the glass.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, I shouldn't poke fun at the art.
Yes. Thank you very much, Spiel, for sponsoring this this stream by sending us this game that we nitpicked the art on. Cheers.
But there wasn't a lot to nitpick the gameplay on.
That's the problem, right? I mean, it's, yeah, anyway. I like it. I enjoy it. It's a weird game to teach. It makes sense. You have to be a gamer, but it's a weird game to teach.
I think that's the other thing. And Tiff teaching it, she's tried to teach the second part first before the first part, which I think makes a lot of sense because when you're looking at all of the modules you can draft, it's with the context of how you would place them.
I got that idea from John Gets Games because when John Gets Games taught me this game, he taught it backwards, and it was his first time teaching it backwards, and it works so well. So that's why I teach it backwards. Oh, I kicked a dog. All right. Good night,
On that
Internet. Oh, hi, Mads. And then goodbye. Okay. Yay. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be on Twitch and YouTube all day.
I may or may not be cosplaying as Future Steve from Reworld.
I don't think I have...
And the salt and pepper hair dye?
I don't have salt and pepper hair dye because bleaching wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. We don't have a blue cloak. I have a black cloak.
Okay,
and you don't have a green turtleneck.
Okay, it'll take some work.
Are we going to Target? They close in 2 hours.
Yeah, we can figure it out.
Okay. We're not really. All right. Good night, Internet. Yes. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Mwah!